Hello, world. Um, First off, I really do not know how to do this sort of thing, to be honest. It's my first time, I guess, attempting to do something like this on my own to, I guess, talk to the world, share a few stories, kind of explain a few things because I got a lot on my chest and there's not really much options for me when it involves, I guess, trying to be an adult. So I do apologize for anyone who's watching this. All I ask is please be patient with me. I might rant on a few times because I didn't really wrote this up. I'm just speaking off my mind. So if it seems like jumping from subject to subject, I do apologize. I haven't really talked to anyone about my personal problems for almost my entire life. And even if I did try, it's hard on me because of how everyone makes, I guess, me feel afterwards of doing it. So I'll start off by saying that my name is Cody. I've been living in California for majority of my life, and I've been, I guess, struggling being an adult here. So pretty much I just need to talk a few things out and see if what the world thinks and what should be the next step in my life, because I can't really clearly make a decision in this since I've already tried so long in my life, and the amount of support I was given throughout my life has been meaningful to me, but I've been still in a hole for a long time now, and it doesn't really seem like there's a way out of it. So I thought I would talk to everyone normally, like without any dramatic music in the background or like an AI voice to kind of make my story seem more dramatic or get everyone's attention sooner. To be frank, that doesn't feel real to me. I feel like talking to you like I am now is like talking to you in person, if you understand how that feels, you know? And I want to be real and honest with everyone, friends, family, even people I just meet, so that's why they know how it's just the way I live. So I do apologize for those who's expecting the dramatic, like video editing or music or something, like some really good quality stuff. I'm just recording off my phone in the middle of the woods because that's where I live at. I live in the middle of nowhere, and I decided to go on a walk and attempt to do this. So here I go. Ever since I was young, I've been living in a really low income household family. My mother, she basically worked her ass off for a long time until like her 30s, and she'd done everything she can to support everyone in our family. And I can say that my dad's been doing almost everything for everyone for a long time now. Any family members and friends that live up here, they're in a situation where they don't know how to get out of there, needs help, they always call him for help. They always look towards him as a beacon in a way. He's that kind of guy where he'll work hard almost every single day of his life, and then any money he makes, he'll spend it towards the people who need it the most or who he cares about the most. He's the main person that I idolize and that I respect for almost all my life. and I love him very dearly, just as much as I love my mom. I wish every day I could be like him. I wish I can be as tough as him, strong as him. I wish I can handle situations better than he can, or as good as he can, And he amazes me every day. And it's sad, the older you get, the more you watch the people you love and friends and family just start to crumble under pressure or just slowly start falling apart. I do apologize for the sun glare. It's trees, they don't block the sun out. But back to what I was saying is that I'm getting older now, and so is my parents, and they're getting to the age to where they can't really do a lot of things on their own. My dad and my mom are now disabled. They've been disabled for a long time, and I'm just saying that's like a huge hole when people that are dependable end up ending in a hole themselves. And it hurts to see it like this. It hurts to see change, but the one thing that everyone has to swallow in situations like this is that the world that we're born in just doesn't exist anymore. We all have to accept change, even if it's the worst in the world or the most hurtful. And my dad, he's been working ever since he was a teenager, just like me. He had way too many people to take care of. I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and they all need help. They all need to step up. They need like a push in a way. So he helped basically the oldest in our family try to get a life together, Like one of my brothers was living with us for a while. He basically got married, had kids, but he needed to find a house, he needed to find jobs, he needed to find cars. My dad did almost everything for him to help him out to get his life together. And then after that, basically it was up to them to take care of themselves. And it was like that through each and every brother and sister in our household. The only one that didn't need help was my actual blood brother, because when I say brothers and sisters, we're not all related. We just like grew up together. My dad never really had a really dedicated family that well until ours came up with my mom, and he took a bunch of kids in that had nowhere to go, no future, and basically give them something that they really needed, which was a place to call home, goals to be met and set, and it's amazing, honestly, how can someone do that, And yeah, I'm happy that everyone else got a chance, and I'm not meaning to sound selfish or anything like that, but if I say it in the wrong way or taken out of quotes or words of what I'm saying, could be sounding wrong, but you'll understand it from my perspective later. But every one of my brothers and sisters were able to move out, start their fresh new life, basically leaving my dad's dad behind, leaving everything behind to start a life with their wife and kids and find jobs, get apartments, get houses, get cars. They all work hard to keep themselves afloat in this kind of life, And it always makes me happy to see them happy. It always makes me thrilled to see everything going to their plans, Like their dreams are coming true. Their life is getting together. They're setting up future for their kids. They're setting up future for everything, for everyone involved. And it always is a joy. And I love everyone very much, because it's just amazing seeing those close to you just accomplish things that you never thought were possible, and they never thought was possible. So we're all amazed by actions being basically met with success. And when it came to, I guess, me having a choice, the same choice that everyone else was given, which was move out, start new, start fresh, work, buy a car, get apartments, all that kind of stuff like that. I chose to stay behind because at that time period, that was when both my mom and dad got disabled almost within the same year. My dad was working for, I guess, like porta potty company, the shit boxes, the cat boxes, whatever people call them now these days. It's just pretty much just toilet company. Goes out, pumps them, cleans them, and keeps on going on with his life. And while he was working, he ran into a bit of medical problems and had to basically stop working for a good long time. He hasn't worked since then, and it's been almost 9 years, maybe 10. Kind of lost count because I've been busy struggling, trying to stay afloat with everyone else, And my mom got in a horrible accident when she was on her way home from the store, and she tore up her whole arm and messed up her ribs and had back problems and a whole bunch of stuff. So basically she can't really do much with the right side of her body. Keep on almost saying left, but that's just because I see her still try to do stuff with the part of her body that's mangled up, and it's because she accepted that that's basically the new her, and she always puts herself through pain, and it just hurts me seeing her do that. So that's why I always try to help out as best I can to make sure that she doesn't do it to herself. And when my dad, because he lived a whole hard working life, he can't sit still to rest up and heal, or to kind of accept the terms that he's getting too old, he's not healing as he used to when he was younger. Pain is basically what his entire life is going to be like if he keeps on doing things. And he keeps on getting up, doing stuff for others, doing stuff for his church, his community, helping out neighbors, doing what he can to show that he's basically not mangled up and disabled, because he can't accept that. But in the end, he always hurts himself even more and more and more, to where he had to go through 2 different knee surgeries, had his ankle singed where he can't bend it anymore because the bone got bad, or the ankle whatever it's called, just got bad. He has constant back problems, and he basically has diabetes, and he can't really be as active as he used to be, so he's really getting burned out now. And while everyone else is living their lives, my brothers and sisters basically out there doing what they can to stay afloat, I chose at the age of 14 that my parents need help and that I need to stay to take care of them. So I basically, for all the chances and opportunities I had that everyone gave me to move out and start new, because it just didn't feel right, at least to me. Most people think that that's just absurd, that usually someone needs to start their life somewhere, but I feel like if I just abandon my family in their time of need, then it's not really starting a life, it's more like throwing one away. Because I'm making my own responsibilities, my own choices more important than my family's current situation. It's been like that for years now. And for years, ever since I was young, I learned that many things are not really given to you. You have to work hard to obtain them. So I never really realized that until noticing differences and changes and seeing answers to questions. You know how like when you're a kid and you ask your parents for a new toy or something, or you just ask for a dog, or you ask for something because you, it's a thing of want than need, and that's always driving kids to where it's just like they want to feel like they're important sometimes, or they just want to pass the time with something that'll keep them preoccupied, something that they can cherish for a long time and use for a long time until they get old enough to where they don't need anymore. And my parents, every time I asked them for stuff like toys, or like when I got older, a new phone or laptop or anything like that, they couldn't afford it. So they only could give me what they pretty much had barely left over. They were too busy taking care of their responsibilities, bills, other family members in need, and kind of it hurt because the more I asked, I could just feel like I just cut off their legs because I can hear their sigh. I could see them being sad that the money they're trying to save, they now have to pay. And being in that position as a kid, it hurt a bit. Because with certain other family members, when they ask for something, like, yeah, sure, go on ahead, like, I'll help you out with it, or I'll help you get this, or you need, they treated all the oldest ones in my family like they were more important in my eyes, and I never knew the reason why. And knowing now as an adult was that they were just trying to get their lives together and help them keep on being on their own, guiding them the right way, trying to be for them when they don't have anyone else to help them. So looking at it back now, it's not just the fact is of them being more important, it was just the fact is of my own feelings getting in the way of what was in front of me. And that made me feel like I'm selfish in a way, and it tore me up. But it still tore me up realizing that I was asking my parents for things that I know it hurt them. But in the end, they were happy all the time to do those things for me, but I just knew that someday I just stopped asking for things. I more just kept it to myself and just never talked for a long time. I stopped talking to them ever since high school for a long time about a lot of things I need, a lot of things that are important to me, that I thought were important to me, and I had to go and keep those things on my own. So when I was in high school, I worked while I went to school. Did landscaping for my neighbors, basically side hustle jobs, did weeding, sometimes with my dad if he need to do a lot of commune and help out family that's in need, that's close by, and earned some money from that. I worked in certain jobs that were provided for me from my school during job training because they wanted kids, at least in our high school, to have resumes. So that's how you get accepted at jobs if they don't want to dedicate their future to colleges and stuff like that. They at least try to look out for them. It wasn't really good pay, but it still was a job that gave me some money. And I worked ever since then, all the way until recently, because I've been not having an official job anymore. I've been doing a lot of hustling. I've been doing a lot of side work, been trying to maintain a lot of stuff that is pretty complicated because a lot of work that's literally available in our area is impossible to find. We live in the woods. Closest town is an hour and a half drive depending on how road conditions are. The next closest town is another hour and 35 minutes. Road conditions are bad, it could be 2 hours. And most of the job opportunities are in those towns that are that far away. And usually when you start working in towns like that, you pay a lot of money for gas. You work a lot of jobs that don't pay overtime. You work for not really the best places to help you earn enough money to pay off bills and responsibilities you have to take care of, especially when you're trying to take care of your parents' situation and also your own situation. But for me, I've always put everyone else above myself because I've always wanted to be like my dad. He taught me that basically doing all this on your own it's hard. And if you can do it on your own and you have the power to help others along the way, then always help. Never shut anyone out. Because if that's you asking for help and that person shuts you out, then they know how it's going to feel when it comes to times like that, where people have to make hard choices for others. So I dedicate all my time and energy and money towards helping out my family, which is bills, pay rent, even though that I already paid rent, or help pay for car parts when cars break down. I'll help whenever they need to keep them afloat for a month, pay for registration for vehicles, basically pay for stuff. Hang on. Sorry about that. I had to make sure there wasn't a bear in the woods with me while I was talking. I heard a lot of walking, branches breaking, stuff like that, but it's just a deer. But throughout most of my life, I have done what I can to try to help out, but in the end, it seems like the hole keeps on getting bigger and bigger, especially where we live at. I think most people understand that when I say I live in California, because they lived here, or they're currently living here, and they're dealing with the same stuff and the same problems that I'm dealing with, and it's already hard on them, so they probably would hopefully sympathize with what I'm saying, and agree that it is very difficult living here, especially now, ever since after, I guess, COVID. Now, for years, when I did work with actual jobs, I did work in construction. And I worked as a roofer, drywaller. We literally built houses from scratch, wetsuit, a whole bunch of jobs and tasks that company was basically experts in. And I worked for that jump company for almost 2 years, earning some good money, trying to do what I can to step up and take care of things. So I was most of the time away from home. And I had to go on, I guess, travel for my work. I had to go to Las Vegas, had to go to Washington, had to go to Oregon, had to go to Southern California, had to go in places that are really far away. And sometimes when I'm gone, something will happen at home that hurts. And it's usually my dad ended up in a hospital from an injury. It happened when he was just trying to clean off our roof at home, fell from a ladder, or my mom almost having another stroke and needing to be brought to the hospital because of health problems, and they're just not really taking care of themselves now. They've been so focused taking care of everyone else that they just kind of threw their own bodies away, their own health, their own realizing then that I couldn't be that far away from home for work. I had a tough decision to make because so much was going on and the pressure was rising that I couldn't focus on my work, and all I could think about was how long it was going to take for me to get home if any situation could happen. And it scared me. Because I live in California, we had a few wildfires close to our house, and sometimes we're at work to where we couldn't go home to go pack up our things or do anything because our job was to work. Our foreman, our boss would not care if there's a fire near our house. They told us to get the job done. At the end of the day, go home. So that's pretty much how we're, in a way, treated. It wasn't important to him, but it was important to us. So I decided to basically take more time off of work and stay home. But the issue, though, is that I never said I quit. I just told my boss I needed to take some time off to help out my family because they really do need it. And I guess I was fired or they titled it as quit. I don't know what they put on the paperwork, but that's just what they put down. So I accepted that and just didn't go to work again. I had a lot of stuff at home I needed to take care of, and I tried finding work closer by up in the woods, but it's almost impossible. Like, you have to have a good background to work for the forestry. You have to have a lot of stuff set up for you beforehand in order to get certain jobs up here. And it takes time. It takes a long time to get to a stepping stone that you could say that I did this on my own or that I'm able to take care of myself and my family. But the worst time to try to do all that is after COVID. Now, I had to work during COVID, and I had to go travel on planes during COVID to do roofing jobs and stuff like that, and places that literally were shut down temporarily, like Las Vegas. I worked at the Bellagio MGM Grand Casino Hotel. I worked at most of the strip up and down, repairing spa pools, redoing walls, fixing up the ceilings, fixing up electrical, doing a few maintenance checks, doing inspections on the roofs of the buildings, repairing what we can that needs to be repaired, and we kept on going on and on and on with different jobs. But then when I had to leave was right in the middle of COVID, and in California it was really tough. Basically, no one can find work. It was impossible. Most people worked at home trying to find online jobs. That wasn't a scam. Was almost 50-50 chance all the time. It was hard. People literally lost a lot of money. People lost their homes. Business had to close down, especially up in our area. And it was tough to accept that. So a lot of people had to go through struggles that's beyond describable. Tear apart families. It destroyed a lot of things and definitely hurt our family a bit. And we still powered through it. We still do what we could to stay afloat. But after that, that's when everything started getting worse. Food got more expensive. Gas got more expensive. Even house insurance got more expensive. And that's because California is a wildfire hazard. So every single house that's in California, all their interest rates gone up. And then with mortgage being weird now between insurance companies, prices will differ. It will not be fixed. Even though when you have a fixed mortgage, they will find a way to screw you in the end. PG&E is increasing prices because the amount of money and work they're putting into, even though we don't use that much power, we have monitor it and meter, and yet we still have to pay almost $300 a month or close to $400. And it's really tearing us down. All these bills keep on going up and up and up, and the cost of living is just, it's horrible. Like, most people are told when they're young, teenagers, that you can move out, start a life, get a job, get a car, get an apartment. And this is California. This is where dreams are made or become true. And it's the Golden State. But now, it feels like, I have to come here with gold in your pockets to even survive here. The worst part of it is that we have no conveniences up in the woods. Like, people can literally find jobs. They're walking out of their apartment, going down the street 2 blocks. There's a grocery store. Apply there. Or like a mile away, there's a job. Apply there. Like, it's within like a 10 to 20 minute drive. It's not that difficult for a lot of people to live in cities to go find new work. But places like ours, we have to do long times of commute to travel to go find actual jobs that pay well. But even if they pay well, we're still losing money in gas, food, and other things that require to keep that job afloat. And when we try asking for help from, let's say, our government, they just sit back and just watch the fire keep getting bigger and bigger. It seems like everyone just kind of just gave up of trying to fix things and just let everything just spiral out of control. And nothing's being done by it. Everyone says it's being done. There's new bills going to pass. There's this and that. I'm not a big fan of politics. I try not to delve into it because this whole politics thing that's happening in California is just, it's just a fiasco, a circus that has never shut down yet. I'm not saying the government needs to shut down. I'm saying that, like, if something's crooked and something's not fixing the current situation to make people happier or enjoy living here, why are you still striving to make things worse? And that's other situations where most of my family members couldn't even keep jobs because of how hard it is, how expensive it got. And they have kids and responsibilities to take care of, to where it's just impossible. It's just straight up just not workable here. Because it's not workable here, they had to make hard choices of, like, moving out to a different state or abandoning what they worked hard on, selling it, and starting somewhere new somewhere else in California where there's more job opportunities. Everything is just destroying more than one families here. And a lot of people is moving out of California. Not just our family members, just a lot of people's lived here for so long. They're being pushed out because they can't survive. And that's what doesn't make any sense. Why isn't our place that we call home, why isn't anyone changing things here? And that's always going to be my question I'm going to ask for years now, because I feel like it's not going to get any better. And I've had long conversations with my family of what should we do if things get worse and worse and worse, because we don't live anywhere near any cities, and yet we have to almost pay as much like we're living in the cities. We have to do so much like we're living in the cities. We have to do more. We have to spend more time on all these matters that I feel like it's not going to be solved. All these problems will always be problems because we're never ever going to get a step ahead. And I've done what I can, and I've tried telling my family we should move. We should probably start somewhere where we can basically do much more better at. But the biggest issue is that we've lived here for so long that it's been our home for almost most of my life, ever since I was a kid all the way until I was an adult. And my family doesn't really want to abandon what they worked so hard on. The property they lived at, they worked so hard on keeping it maintained, fixing it up, and doing all sorts of things to make it everyone's home. And they would feel like that they don't want to do that again, because they're getting old, they're disabled, they don't have any energy, they can't do certain things anymore. And they just don't really want to make that tough decision. And every fiber of my being's telling me to get out, that this is unhealthy, that this is gonna eventually be the reason why we're in our graves in the future or something. Like, it's just, everything's telling me that we just need to leave. But seeing how my family has worked so hard for something that they love, and seeing how hard it is for them to even let it go, I understand that this shouldn't be a choice for us to make. It shouldn't come to us being chased out of our homes because how everything is so unobtainable. These conditions are just not good. They haven't been for a long time. And it just feels like it's just always going to keep on getting worse and worse each and every year. And it tears me up because I want to do more. I want to keep on providing. I want to help. I want to fix all of this wrongs that's been occurring. But I can't do anything. I'm powerless. I don't have choices. I have hard decisions to make, sacrifices to make. I have to suffer. And that's just how it is. And I just don't want that for my family. I love them all to death, and I'd rather hurt myself than see them get hurt. I'd rather put myself up front than seeing all this happen to them. It hurts. And our current situation is that there's really not much to look forward towards besides just dealing with bills, dealing with having to pay too much for things that shouldn't be in the first place. Fucking buying groceries almost like literally makes it to where we only have like $30 in the pocket, and we use that for gas to go doctor's points for them, and it was so hard on me because I spent all my money to help out my dad through his recent knee surgery. And I had to take him to physical therapy, which was the next town over, which is an hour and a half. I had to take care of him. I had to help him with exercises. I had to do a lot of things that I had to literally let go a lot of side jobs I had to make sure he's up to health, that he's feeling better. Because I want him to feel better. I want him to be happy. And in the end, even though happiness is there, it always feels temporary, like there's a next problem's going to arise. And I'm sick of it. I've been at my breaking point for years. And I feel like I can't even cry anymore. I feel like I've been hiding my emotions for so long that it now feels like wrong to express them. It feels... I've hid everything for a long time from all my family, all my friends. I've hid all my true feelings, but in the end, I couldn't get help. When I tried getting help, it was not helpful. Going through years and years of therapy, being locked up in mental hospitals, and being told everything's going to be okay, just start new and everything's going to be okay. I've been told that so many things for so long that people don't understand it's that easy. So I sympathize with those families that are in need and always are struggling. I sympathize with those that live in California, that have to deal with so much while taking care of others that they love, or even trying to take care of themselves. I am sorry that all of you are going through this, and I hope that things are going to get better. I hope. And that's all I can do is hope. And like, if I was rich, I would have been able to help fix all my family's problems. All of it. Get them a car that would help them be easier from getting out of vehicles with their current disabilities. And a car that's good on gas to help them save money doing that. Help provide and pay off the mortgage, pay off PG&E every month, pay everything off to where it's no longer their worries. Any money they get because of their disabilities and or the money that's provided to them by the government, they can now spend on themselves. They can get themselves clothes. They can get themselves food that they always want to eat. They can go out. They can enjoy being here. They can enjoy living for once instead of having to take on so many responsibilities that they're stressed out every single day to where they can't even sleep at night. I barely can't even sleep at night because of the amount of stress I'm going through, worrying about everything. And all I can do is worry. There's no guarantee. There's no lift of this weight and responsibility. There's nothing. And people think like, oh, you're thinking negative all the time. Why is that? Like, you shouldn't be thinking negative. That's your problem. I've worked for so long. I've done what I can. And in the end, it feels like it was just nothing. It feels like I still need to do more, that I'm not doing enough. It feels like all that energy and effort is just temporarily. It's just not going to fix everything. And I just don't know what to do anymore. I really don't. I gave up on all my dreams. I gave up on my future. I gave up on everything because my family's too goddamn important to me. Some people might think that's weakness. Some people might think that it's a stupid decision to make. But every one of my friends that I've grown up with years, they always keep on telling me that you need to get out of the house. They're the reason why you can't have a future. They're an anchor in your life. I don't think what's going on through their minds when they say things like that. I get that they had bad childhoods. I get that they didn't really had family that loved and take care of them as much as they can. But my family done so much for me. So much. And I feel like no matter how much I give them, it's never going to repay how much they have done for me. Their sacrifices, the money, everything they have worked hard on, they gave to me. Even the littlest things that they had left, they gave to me. And I'm just so upset at myself. I feel like I'm less of a man. I feel like I'm nothing. I feel like I am the anchor of my family because I just feel like no matter how much I give, it's not going to fix anything. Even though they say thank you, even though they try to make the situation feel better, I can see in their eyes that it makes them feel awful. Having to rely on their own kid to help because they've been so used to working hard and taking care of themselves, it's almost inhuman to them to accept help sometimes. It's just how they are. And now with the current situation, look around. If you ever lived in California, what are you going to tell your kid here in California? What are you going to tell them? The same thing I was told, which is like you can move out at age 18, start a life, work, get a car. You can't. Apartments are so expensive now. And even living in towns where everything's so convenient, everything's so pricey there. Almost as expensive as living up in the woods, but not as close. People might think, oh yeah, if you live in LA and San Francisco, it's so expensive where you have to have 2 jobs. I get that part. But if they ever lived in the middle of nowhere, where there's no conveniences, no choice, no opportunities to keep yourself afloat, to help your family out, you have to travel, you have to sacrifice time, you have to sacrifice everything to have to work hard to get a future. And I don't mean to make myself sound like my problems are more important than everyone else. That's not the goal at all. I understand everyone's frustration, I understand everyone's pains, and understand how expensive things are everywhere around here. Everywhere around in 8 different cities, so that's why I say I sympathize with everyone. But again, I'm just expressing what's on my mind, okay? So I mean no disrespect. I don't mean to sound like I need to be important. That isn't it. I feel like I need to say something. I need to speak. I need to have a voice. Because I feel like every one of my family is just, they're getting pushed down. They're getting tore down. They're getting abused while they're here. And it hurts. It was so different when I was a kid here. As a kid, it was like $100 cost food to last a month for like a family of 8. But for family 8, you have to spend almost $800 to $900, almost even like more than that, depend on you have a baby or you have a child, or like it depends on what age they are, what it depends. And that can alter your cost of living to survive. So that's why a lot of people think it's easier to be on your own. Start fresh. Forget about everyone. Go do something on your own. But it's harder on me to make that choice because I know that it's not right. I have been at my breaking point for a long time, and I just don't know what to do anymore. Some people said that I should create a GoFundMe or something to help with our current situation, because our current situation is just fucked. My brother had to move back with us to help cover the cost of a lot of things after my parents were disabled. But I still was there, and I still was helping too. And even with both of us working, it's impossible to pay for everything. Sometimes we have to go a month without propane, because a lot of people out in cities, they have like central heating or something that helps with the stove, electrical stove or something. But we use propane because it costs less in the PG&E bill, and we can save it. We can like nourish it, or like, I guess, better way of saying it is just use it with responsibility. You know, take a certain amount of showers, cook certain foods, don't use the oven for too long, stuff like that. And we just end up having our own schedules. But our house has been falling apart for a long time now. All of our money has been going towards bills, responsibilities, food, taking care of my parents, and in the end, we have our ceiling falling apart due to leaks in our roof. We have the floor underneath us creating holes, and we have to patch it with literally like boards of wood that we have spare from like projects that we're working on outside, put that on the ground and just leave it there to just patch up the hole. Not even a full like repair, just to leave it there to make sure people don't step in the hole and make it bigger. And we have power shut off and on constantly due to either we can't afford it certain times of the month, or because we live in the woods, PG&E will shut off power due to high winds or fire hazards or some sort of reasoning. They'll shut off power almost every single time of every 2 months. Every 2 or 3 months, they'll shut off the power. It could be a day, it could be 3 days, it could be a week, depending on how bad the situation is from how they deal with it. So we have to use generators. We have to do what we can to sustain with this situation, or to survive the situation. And my parents are old school. They can deal with not having power, just like how I was raised in a way. But like with my recent kind of side hustle jobs, I work online. I do a lot of stuff for everyone else that needs help with it. I even help out a lot of our community up here that's basically full of people that are retired, old, and they don't know how to use a laptop or even use the internet. I usually show up. I help them set up their appointments online, do webcams to talk to their doctors. I help them get notifications in their emails when they don't know even how to use a smartphone. Like, you might think that's a little bit hard to believe, but sometimes some people are really hard to adjust to change. So even my dad used like a flip phone with all these smartphones with touchscreens for a long time when he was working. Never wanted to get a touchscreen. Now he has to struggle with using a touchscreen phone and accidentally calling people on butt dials, or just accidentally clicking ads and downloading viruses when he's just using YouTube to look up just like a band name, or like how to do this at home or something if he doesn't know it. But I try to do the best I can for others in the process of actually me, I guess, getting paid. Because I just feel like it's wrong working for a job that doesn't really help others. It's only for yourself. That's why I really just don't like certain jobs I worked at. But our house is currently falling apart. We can't cover the cost of repairing it. We have trees in our yard that are about like as tall as these ones, 8-foot tall trees. Their branches are falling down, breaking car windshields once a winter. So we have to move cars accordingly around the property, make sure it doesn't happen. And sometimes the trees will lean really, really far to where they're about ready to snap and fall on our house. We try asking PG&E for help to see if they can help cut down the trees that are close to the lines, that's to our house. They said no, it has to be within a certain amount of feet, or it needs to be in their jurisdiction to work on those trees. And the first thought that came to my mind is like, who's going to pay for PG&E or the electric bill if we die because of a tree falls on our house? like what then? Like I don't get what their decision making is based on, but they just don't really care about our situation. So we try finding other people to help out, see how much it would cost to cut down trees or cost for repairs in the house or stuff like that, and it's so expensive. 14 grand to have someone climb up a tree, cut it piece by piece, let it fall, and then have to trim it up and clean it. And that's just a professional crew. With just like one person that we wanted to hire, person wanted like 6 grand, and he was able to do everything on his own, or just I would offer helping him out with doing all the hard labor too, because I don't want to sit by and just let stuff be done around the property without helping. I don't want to feel useless, you know? I want to commit. I want to do things to help. So even if we're paying people to fix up our house, I would help them. I've done it in work, and I want to do it for my family. But it's too expensive. Don't have that extra money. We try saving up for that money, but we always have to spend it on something that we really do need. Like our cars, we have more than one car that we use, and each one will break down for weird reasons or for reasons that we didn't expect. Like a coil's burned out, the rear axle bearings are torn or not even there because of how many times you turn the vehicle. The miles are high on one vehicle to where it just cannot accelerate certain times, so you have to do a tune-up, oil change, a bunch of stuff, and then it just keeps on stacking up to where we have other things that need to cost money. And no matter how much we work, or no matter how our job is as close by to us or anything like that, it won't cover everything. It'll take like months of saving up, and if you don't have to spend on anything else, you might be able to get one thing done. But when that one thing's done, another thing happens. And it always will keep on happening, and there's really nothing that we can do about it. We just have to bite the bullet and deal with the pain and just keep on going, keep on struggling. And I'm sick and tired of seeing the struggle of my family. I'm fed up with it. I want better for my family. Like, I'm so desperate for a chance to literally do what I can. I'm so desperate to... I really am desperate. Like, if someone really came up to me saying like, hey, you want to make money? You have to do this. Or if it's the wrong thing to do, but I have to do it for my family, I would. Sell body parts, rob a bank, or commit crime. And that's very wrong for someone to be that desperate to do decisions like that. And I've never really done anything, get myself a bad record. I've never done anything of those sorts of things. But then in that mindset of thinking that if I could just do this one thing for someone I know, I'll be set for a while. That it shouldn't be like that. It should be like a normal life, how everyone lived years ago. You worked. You were able to afford a car. You were able to afford many things, able to provide. It should be normal. It shouldn't be to where everyone's so desperate they have to make sacrifices that could hurt them or hurt others in the process. It just feels like the Golden State shouldn't be a Golden State. It shouldn't even be called a Golden State at this point in time. And I don't mean to put the blame on basically the entire state, but with the current situation, it's just like everything's going up in price. Everything, and we can't afford other extra things that we need to afford. So every day I've just been dwelling, thinking, trying to come up with solutions. I've been working extra jobs online or in person or side hustles that would keep me close to home, that I can maintain a balance to afford bills for my family and cover things that they need to. But it's getting rougher and rougher. I don't know how long I keep on doing this for. I don't think you realize how Or you might realize how it feels when everything that everyone else that you see that goes by is happy with their life. That their future is so bright that they achieved everything that they wanted. That they had a future. I threw mine away for the right reason. And in the end, I just feel like I just am going to be like this for a long time. And I don't know what I'm going to do if my family's gone. Because I've been doing so much for everyone else that, like, when it comes to actually doing something for myself, I would not know what to do. I would be stuck. I would be lost. I would not have the right mindset to make decisions that is for myself. I can't make decisions for myself. I mean, I literally, like, growing up, at like teenage age, I literally stopped having birthday parties. Like, a lot of people still do. They had occasions, parties, stuff like that, or had gifts. I stopped celebrating my own birthday at a very young age because I realized it costs others money for important things that they need in their life, and that they shouldn't spend it on me. That they should spend it on themselves. They deserve it. Tell it to my family, do not give me anything. I don't want it. Even on Christmas, when they try getting me stuff that, like, from Dollar General or something, like, small, I literally try to tell them, don't. That other people in the family needs it more than I do. I try making it to where no one tries to give me something because it just feels wasted on me. And being in a world like this, to where, like, you don't know what to blame, you don't know what to do. I keep blaming myself every single day. I keep hating myself every single day. I don't stand to look at myself in the mirror every single day. I don't want to help myself. I would feel disgusted. I'd feel not right. When all that energy could be provided to people I love and care about, it would just not feel right. It'd feel wrong. And I'm just falling apart. And all I could do is just blame the entire world. Blame where I live at. Just push it onto something else. So then it would give me more reason that it's not my fault. That I'm making up excuses. It feels like. Because if we lived anywhere else, we wouldn't be dealing with all these problems. But in the end, it's our home. We should do what we can, because it's a place that we created memories at. It's a place that we worked hard on. It's a place that we formed bonds. It's a place that we grown, made generations. All this was possible because of where we lived at. And now we're making it to where it's not a choice. When you have kids, you're pretty much going to tell them to move out of Cali. If you want a future, if you want to save money, if you want the life you really want, do it in a different state, not here. Because if you're here, you're going to be living the same life as me, same life as us. And it hurts if you're a parent and you've been working hard to keep everything together and everything's falling apart. Now, I don't have any experience in being a parent, but I bet it's really difficult trying to set a future for your kid here. I bet it's tough. I bet you have to make sacrifices. I bet you have to do a lot. I can't even imagine a single parent here. Like, it would be really difficult. Like, who's going to take care of the kid while you're going at work? Who's going to, like, it would be so incredibly difficult to maintain balance, to maintain a focus, to maintain to hold yourself together through it. I'm sorry if I'm ranting on. I'm just speaking from my mind. I do apologize if this is a long video. I'm doing this unedited. I want to talk to you like I'm talking to you in person, like you're actually here, like you actually can see, hear, and feel how I feel, and understand a little bit about me. Now, throughout me talking about this, I do want to say this, is that everything I've been telling you guys is genuine. It's the truth. I'm not lying at all. If people want proof of our current situation, I can post up photos wherever they want to be posted at. I could post up videos too of water pouring through our roofs and certain family situations that we cannot deal with, that it's hard to manage. And if everyone wants proof, I'm all up for it. I can send whatever anyone wants, so that's so they can see what it's like, how hard it's been like these past couple years. And all I ask is that I'm making this video to spread the word, or try to find some sort of help. Try to figure stuff out. Try to solve problems I can't keep dealing with all the time. I feel so low to do this sort of thing, to like ask others for help that I don't even know. I feel like I'm not human. I feel like I'm just an anchor on someone else. And I don't like that feeling. I feel just really awkward doing this video. I feel really destroyed doing this video. And it's just hard. It really was hard for me to make this video. But I need to say something to see if there's a chance, to see if there is hope, to see if there's something that someone can do to help us. Because I'm just tired. I'm mentally can't handle a lot of stuff that I used to handle. Now I have anxiety. Now I have all these emotions that I was able to maintain for years since I was young. And now I'm just losing grasp. I'm losing my head. And I don't know what to do to keep myself in check, or to control a lot of the stuff that's going on with me. And in case people are curious, I do have disabilities. I do have things wrong with me, but I don't let that get in the way of me trying to provide for my family. So I've worked through my disabilities to keep jobs, to provide, to strive to try to find a future. I try not to let that hold me back, no matter how difficult it is. I just don't know how long I keep on doing this for, though. And like, I've been reached to the point in time where I've like literally given up. And I just told myself that I can't give up, because what would my family do if I wasn't here? Now, I can be honest by saying this, is that like, I have suicidal thoughts, but I don't ever try to attempt doing anything. I have severe depression. I have problems with me for years that never was solved. I mean, imagine a whole life trying to I could talk more about my past if people are curious, but it's just been a long road, and that road just keeps on getting longer and longer. So yeah, I am mentally disturbed, but I'm never going to let that get in the way of me helping people, helping my family, friends, and those that are close to me that's in need of help. I mean, like every day I try to find something that might help. Like, I try doing the lottery. I try going to places that might give us rewards or something for participating in them. I tried competitions. I've tried a lot of stuff that I physically can't do at those times. I like Publishers Clearinghouse. I know me and my dad's been in Publishers Clearinghouse for a long time, but he never got anything from them. And I've tried it myself too, and nothing. I've tried other methods like those 1-800 numbers. I've tried the long list of different things that were scams or not scams. If it was a chance to get a better future, I will try. And it's all led up to what's now. All those choices I made just didn't make a difference. And I'm struggling. I really am struggling. And all I have is myself to blame, or blame the world, or blame California, or blame everything else. I don't know what to do to put my frustrations towards something. So I came to a conclusion that I need to talk, that I need to say things, I need someone out there to help that would understand what I'm going through, that understands what it's like to feel like you're alone, dealing with what you have to deal with on your own, that you can never open up, that you can never be weak in other people's eyes, that you can never be honest with yourself with all these problems. To put on a fake smile every day so that's like your family and friends think that you're happy, think that you're enjoying life, that you're doing good, you have a good head on your shoulders. I'm surprised you're going through all this and managed to keep yourself sane. I've seen friends and family in situations like mine to where when they didn't get help, where they couldn't find a solution to their problems, they either quit, went to doing drugs, threw their whole lives away. They abandoned everything they worked hard on. They literally clocked themselves out, killed themselves, or they just have addictions. They have problems. They're not able to mentally handle all the stress and responsibilities of being an adult here. And I understand it now. I used to hate their decision making. I used to hate them. I used to think that they did something so awful that it just hurt my family, and that's why I hate them. But in the end, I realized they were just trying to find a way out. They were just trying something to keep them here. They were trying to do what they can, and in the end, they weren't strong enough. They just it's just every year it feels like I'm losing a family member, someone I love and care about, friends. I don't think you understand how many memorials I had to go to. I wear the same suit. It was the only suit that I can afford at the time, and I still wear that suit. I wear that to weddings, and I wear that to memorials. And every time I see that suit, it just feels like it's hard to let go. Like most of my friends that I went to school with, because I had to go to school an hour away from here, an hour and a half, I can't really see them anymore because of how busy I've been. I've stopped talking to people, I've stopped socializing a lot, and I've been cutting myself off, and I still have like their numbers. I still have, like, when I'm playing video games, I still have them online as friends, and some of them almost feels like when I try calling to see how they've been doing, all I'm just met with is another person's voice, and they're just like, I don't know who you're trying to call. This isn't that person. Please call someone else. And I go and try to see their family and try to contact them on Facebook or somewhere, and figured out that they died. And it's hard to wrap your head around it. And sometimes I'm stupid. I think about them all the time, and I go to try to get reconnected with them to talk about the years, how you've been, like what's changed, like did you ever accomplish what you wanted to do when we graduated or when we left school. And I call them. I even hit them up on my console. I'm playing games and stuff, and I realize they're no longer there. Those memories I have, all those feelings, they're just sorry. It's been a long time since I cried. And it's very small. I don't cry a lot anymore, I guess. I try to control my emotions, but I just don't know anymore. Okay. I just don't want to end up like the people that I used to know, that people that I loved and cherished throughout my life, that people I was close with, and end up like them, to where they gave up and they just tapped out of life. They found an addiction that led them to their graves, or led them to destroying the family they started, or they just gave up on living and just decided suicide was the only way. I don't want to end up like that. That's why I'm desperate enough to tell everyone my position in life. I'm desperate enough to make myself vulnerable online to everyone out there, whoever's watching this. I'm taking this big risk because I know what the internet's like. Throughout my years going to school, when I first got a cell phone, I know what people are like online sometimes. There's a lot of good people, but of course there's those that will just bully, use your weaknesses as weapons, and just keep prying at you until they see you just break down and snap or get a reaction. And I've been so afraid that that's what's going to happen to me now, sharing my viewpoint or my problems, or just trying to get word out there that I need help, that my family needs help, that I don't know what to do anymore. And I just don't want people to take that in the wrong way. So if you guys want to, I guess the ones that want to do a little harm, please keep my family out of it. You can make fun of me, you can judge me, you can say that I'm weak, I'm stupid, that I can, everything. You can do that to me, but please keep my family out of it. Please be respectful, because they don't know I'm doing this. They don't know that I'm literally talking to strangers. They don't know that I'm just trying to express, I'm trying to get help. Because I don't want them to know that there's something wrong with me. I don't want them to worry about me. I don't want them to make me as a priority anymore. So I create a long list of things that are goals that I need to accomplish to fix the problems that my family's property, or what my family's currently dealing with. big problem is that we have trees that need to be cut down. It costs a lot of money. And that's going to be a problem. We have about like 3 or 4 that's at risk of falling. So we need to take care of that. Our house is falling apart. We can't afford to repair it or even afford a permit to restore a house. Did you know that's a thing? Did you know that in California that you cannot restore a house unless you pay for a permit to the county that you're living in order for you to fix up your house, in order for in the future, if you want to sell the property, that's the only way of doing it, or you run into a lot of problems. I never knew about that. Or even like trying to, let's say, get a temporary house on the property, like a mobile home, to have your family move out of the house that you're in into that one. You got to have a permit for that. You have to pay the county and the government to even make that option happen. Even though that they know that your living situation is not good, they still want the money. It's just crazy. I thought like it would be different, you know? At 18, thinking I could buy my own property, do what I want with it, because it's my own place to call home. That no one can take that away from me. But it turns out you have to pay even more to get permission to do something on your property. That's why most people up here in the woods, they just don't care. They just do things on their own. They just build what they want to build. They want to put RVs and trailers on their properties to take care of their family. They just want to keep surviving to help everyone else survive along with the way, because of how expensive it is. They just don't give a shit about having to pay all this stuff. And then in the future, when shit hits a fan and something might happen where they could get screwed, they know it's worth the risk because their family's more important than their own lives. So up here we make risk and sacrifices in order for the benefit of our family to thrive, to survive. But basically, trees need to be cut down. Our house needs to be either torn down and rebuilt because it's all falling apart. We have our washing machine and dryer that used to be inside our house. We had to put them outside. So we literally have a washing machine outside, out in the open. No shed, no nothing. We can't afford the lumber to build a shed. We can't afford to put anywhere on the property because we have no room besides like right out the front door. So we can only do laundry if it's not raining or snowing. And if we have to do laundry when there's bad weather, we have to go drive to town to pay to do it at the laundromat. But our washer machine inside the house, the pipe burst while we're doing the load and caused a big crater inside the, I guess, washer and dryer room. So we had to literally close off that room. We tried repairing the floor, but the problem is that it's because we live not in an actual house, it's a mobile home. Underneath is all hollow to the ground, and the rotting wood underneath is starting to spread. It reached to the bathroom next door to the, I guess, to our shower. So we had to replace the walls and the floor in there, get with new stuff, and fix that. And now it's starting to spread to the living room, to where there's holes popping up random places in the living room where we have to put down boards of wood temporarily just to keep it from falling apart. Our ceiling is starting to be messed up because the inside of our roof, it has holes and leaks, I guess. Even no matter how many times we patch it or repair it, it still will leak. It's because that the place that my parents bought, it was a mobile home built onto an add-on building. And it was really cool. It was really big and spacious. So like it actually had it was really good in the inside. It was amazing seeing it as a kid. But then whoever built the roof attaching the add-on to the mobile home didn't realize that it wasn't properly installed. So now in the inside, either the middle of the building, the new roof was added on, or to the add-on in between the buildings, it will leak in between the walls and hit the floor and then cause the wood to give out. And so I live literally, I guess, in the add-on of the mobile home. The rest of the mobile home is my parents. And the walls attached to the mobile home will cry. Water will just run down the walls, so I can't hang up any posters or pictures or anything on the walls. I have to keep a lot of stuff off the walls during heavy rainstorms. And in the side room that I'm in, which is the add-on, the roof will leak too. So I have to make sure a lot of stuff is moved out of place, or I have to stay up almost throughout the nights of long storms to make sure none of the important things I have will get leaked on, like my clothes, anything electronic wise. I have to literally make do with what I can and just move things around. I can't repair it because I don't have the money to go tear off the whole roof and buy lumber at Home Depot and reinstall everything. It's just too much. I don't think you realize that if you go Home Depot right now in California, you want to build a deck? Yeah, that's not going to happen unless you want to like sell your car and also sell your grandma in the process. So that's the sucky part about lumber right now. And what I want to do is to try and make our living our property, our house that my parents would be enjoying where they live at more, to where they would get the help they need. I've always watched, like, I guess TV shows growing up of like families getting their houses demolished and then rebuilt houses back to like brand new. And I've always imagined that would be amazing if my family can experience that, and my parents got to experience that, because seeing all those families so happy just made me felt really jealous, but at the same time happy for them that they were able to get that kind of step ahead. And I want that for my families, that I want these opportunities to come to them, and I have to do what I can for the time being to keep everyone afloat, but at the same time I'm not saving money. I'm not going to have a really good future for a long time until I have all this stuff sorted out. I'm not going to think on my own. I'm not going to think for myself until I realize that my parents are okay, that everything's set up and ready for them, that we have a handicap accessible front door for when they're able to go in and out of the front door, instead of having to worry about the ramp that we kind of built from scratch falling apart that we have to constantly repair. I want them to enjoy living, to enjoy where they live at, to enjoy everything that they have now, instead of always seeing it as a negative, like how I'm seeing it. So we have a long list of things that need to be taken care of, and it's going to be years before we can manage to even take care of one of them. And the only steps that we need taken care of right now is just the main important one. It's basically just cleaning up our property, making it safe, rebuilding the house that we're in, and also temporarily, probably, I'm thinking buying a Connex box or something that can be shipped up to our house, an extra building either made or something to have all the stuff that's stored inside the house be temporarily stored in that we could permanently have, so in case if a fire happens, we could literally throw everything in there, lock it up, and then move out if something bad happens, protect what we need to protect in this, like a big container of metal, like shipping container, So I think that would be amazing to have. So then we'll be able to move stuff out, to tear everything out of the house, to rebuild it, or just tear it all down and build a new house. Now, I don't want to really ask for something like that, because it's not easy and it's not cheap. And I don't assume that anyone would even care to even offer even a single dollar for my current situation. Because if they were living in Cali, they would probably be more focused on their own problems than others, which is understandable. So I don't expect, honestly, anyone to help. That's just because I'm literally I've never done this before. I've never created a GoFundMe. I've never tried to create something to make it work, to ask for others for help that I have no idea who they are. And then, of course, if I do get help, I'm always going to have that feeling of I want to pay them back. I want to return what they gave me. I want to work hard to do a difference, you know? Because it's not right just to take something and be like, oh, thank you, and then go do something with it and then not just return the favor, you know? So I would like to, if I ever end up in the future, like let's say won the lottery or something, to where like somehow I got a miracle happen, you know, like something that I would never expect to happen, and somehow I got all this money to where I would be able to do a difference. And if I ever had that happen to me, I would do the same thing to anyone that's like in my position, or anyone that's in similar positions that are just struggling and they need help. I would give it away. But my main priority right now, because I'm broke, is that to help my family. To help my family first, to try to get them on their feet, to try to get them to look forward towards the future. I know a lot of people would just be like, give me money, tell me to move different states with that money, sell your property, stuff like that, but it's not as easy as you think. I wish it was. But there's a lot of tough decisions that involve multiple people, and that can create a lot of problems. So there's a lot more to that I would explain another time, but basically we're kind of stuck here in that we don't want to leave. It's our home. It's a place that we grew up at. It's a place that we create memories at, so we're not going to give it away. We're going to try to stay and fight. Try to survive. So I'm going to create a GoFundMe. I'm going to see if anyone out there who can help, see if anyone cares, or see if anything, see if they can provide something to help us out. And those who are working hard to try to support themselves and still dealing like what I'm dealing with, all I can say is that don't donate a lot of money. Don't. Donate what's very little. Very little. Don't give too much, because you have a family to take care of, you have a life to handle, you have all these responsibilities to take care of. So please know the importance that this is going to help your family out in the long run. So please take care of yourself. Don't worry about us. Don't worry about me. And then if there's anyone that's actually have a really good, I guess, bank account and stuff like that, that had everything set up for them, or they worked hard to accomplish their dreams and they started from scratch and got to where they're at now, all I can say is that if I was in your shoes, and if I knew someone that was close to me that really needed help, I would do what I can to help them. I've lived a life of being not selfish, so I don't know how you guys would feel in decisions like that. I don't honestly know what your life was like. And all I can say is that I'm happy for you. You got a huge step ahead. You did it. You basically accomplished things that no one else can accomplish, and that's definitely something that I could be happy for you. And I'm happy for those who are in my situation and still are dealing with what they're dealing with and are still surviving. I'm so happy that they are still doing what they can, that they still are working hard to accomplish the things that are impossible. I appreciate everyone. I don't have ill intent or hate towards different people based on their religion, race, or the size of their bank accounts, the size of their houses, the size of anything. I don't have an enemy. I really don't. The only thing I hate right now is just why is everything so fucking expensive? That's like literally what everyone can agree with. Why is everything so expensive? So that's how I feel about it. So if you have the money to help, please help. Because I don't know what else to do. And if anyone wants more proof, more stuff to show of my situation, like I said earlier, I can send photos, I can send videos, I can send anything that they need to show the fact is that we are struggling. And I can also, afterwards of being donated this money, I can also show the difference. Like, I think that would be kind of fun in a way. Like, I've seen other people do it all the time on like YouTube and tutorials and stuff like that, where they like built something from beforehand that was all falling apart and then built it to what it's at now, before and after videos. So like I'm thinking that I'm probably gonna do what I'm doing now, unedited, just straight up talking to you like we're here together throughout the process, and show that the money that you gave me did this. Like, showed that it fixed up this part of the house. It got us to get this settled and done, that we are able to pay off this and that. Because the main thing that's on my mind too is that I want the mortgage to our house be fully paid off. I want all the at least one of the cars on the property be fully paid off too from the dealership. I want every single bill that shouldn't exist right now when we're going through hardships to be permanently gone. I want it out of the way. I want to make sure all that's done so that everyone else can save money. My parents, they can save money for themselves. My brother, he can save money for himself while he's helping us out. And anyone that's trying to help us right now, is that I just want things to be better for them. So I'm going to see if this world is as what a lot of people think it is. That there's hope. That it's going to get better. I want to believe that. And I'm willing to go to low so low of asking everyone for help that it's hard. It really is. I don't like asking people for help. It's incredibly hard for me. So on the GoFundMe, I'll put in descriptions of what I'm putting the money towards the list. And if you guys have any recommendations of what I should fix first, that'd be great. Like maybe in the comments of the video, or maybe somewhere where you can message me directly. I wish it'd be that easy. I'm not too sure how to set that up without like people abusing it, you know? I'll figure that out along the way, but basically I have multiple different problems I'm gonna list up on the GoFundMe page, and from there just pay attention to the list and then let me know of what I should do first. What's more important? What should be taken care of? Get that out of the way so that I make room for other things for you to take care of, and work off that. But I'm sorry for the video being long. I really am. I could edit it, but it just feels normal to actually talk like this, you know? Feels I'm not, you know, it just feels right. So, sorry if it was a bit boring for most of you. I do apologize. I'm not here to entertain you throughout your day. I'm just here to talk to you. I'm here. So I'm trying to tell the world is that I'm here. That I'm here. That my family's here. That we're here. And that we need help. But all I can say is that it's honestly up to you and your decision, whoever's watching this. You can share my story with someone else, probably edit to make it short for them if they can't sit back and watch the long video as much as you've been watching it, or send it to someone that actually can make a difference and try to help me find help as well. Because honestly, like, I have I guess dreams I threw away that probably could be used right now. Ideas, projects that I've always thought about for years that probably someone can make a profit off of, you know? Everyone has those kind of ideas. Mine was mainly towards entertainment and productions, and also events and ideas to help out communities, you know? Like, what's our little small neighborhood missing that could have helped them throughout the times that they can't afford to go to town to go shopping, take care of other things, other responsibilities. Like, I thought about ways of fixing that. I don't know, if I had money, I would like create more businesses, up here, to provide everyone basically a good future, stuff that would give them incomes, stuff to help provide families where they don't have to contribute those long journeys and hazards and dealing with a lot to get where they're trying to get at, I would help out the community by setting up more places like that, and also helping to create some entertainment, because living out in the woods is kind of boring when you don't know what to do. Maybe like stay up one night and try to fight off a bear for fun. Not a good idea. But there has to be a little bit more than just this. Like how I'm doing. Going out, walking in the middle of the woods, going on an adventure. Exploring, checking out nearby rivers, lakes, and trying to make entertainment as I go. I've been living here for years to where, like, it feels like a normal thing, going out walking and exploring. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's dangerous, because you don't know what's going to come running at you in the woods, so you got to always be ready for that. Like how I got scared earlier when I heard a noise. I thought it was a bear, because it's kind of getting a little bit rough around here with some wild animals. But to end this video, I'm just going to say that I appreciate everyone who stuck around watching this video all the way to the end. I really do appreciate you in general. I really do appreciate you listening to me, and I care that you care, because not many people are just doing what you're doing, and that you are not alone. You are special. And that the world should know you, just like how I want the world to know me. And that you deserve an awesome future. You deserve so much. Because this, for you watching this video, it then shows how much you care. And it shows how much of a wonderful person you are, of actually sitting by and taking in consideration, and also my story, and also my life, and understanding that, and observing and being a really good listener, It shows a lot about yourself. It means that you're patient. It means that you probably understood this from the beginning, of what it's going to be like. You're a strong person, and that you deserve love. You deserve everything. So, probably going to end the video here soon. Sorry if it's me ranting on, but again, like I said, it's my first time. I've never done this before, so it's rough. It's really rough trying to get my head around this. But I do want to show my appreciation to everyone in this video. And I also want to show my appreciation of that in the future if I end up getting the help that I need from my family and for me and for anyone involved right now. And I will show that appreciation at the end of every single video I make of progress. that we're able to do this, that we're able to do that because of you guys, that because you made a difference to where it changed our lives for the better. So I want to continue doing that, and I want this miracle. I want something to help. I want something to happen. I mean, I wish there was genies, like genie in a bottle. I wish that existed. I wish that miracles would happen more often to those that are like me in this position, that are just going through a lot. And it might be childish, but sometimes at night when I stay up and I can't sleep, I usually go out my backyard, look at the stars, and if I see a shooting star, I sometimes make a wish. Just, yeah, I know people are laughing at me for saying that, but that's what I do. I've been doing that since I was a kid. It's almost because, like, I just feel like it might be worth it someday, And I kept on wishing. I still do it now. Wishing for things to change, wishing for, I guess, help. Wishing to get the help that they need and that I need. And I'm still going to try to keep on doing that until it actually is real, I hope you guys take care of yourself, and I hope that you're all doing well, and I hope that you guys are sticking it through to the end, like me. I just hope for the best. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you guys in the future. Goodbye.